Cat Chat back again for another week after a disappointing loss at home, their first for the season. Stephen Way joins me yet again. Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
Good, thank you, mate. Thanks for having me again.
Gold Coast Blaze now have a 2-1 series lead over you guys with one game to play on the Gold Coast later in the season. I think it's in probably the last month of the season. But let's move on. There was a little bit of a argy-bargy, or as both club coaches put, a lot of passion after the final buzzer last week.
Yeah, there was. I think that's a good thing for the league at the moment. It's always, any publicity is good publicity, and it just goes to show that it's a very passionate league this year, especially with Perth. I think we're managing to quickly establish quite a few rivals amongst the league.
We won't go into the after effects of the passion of the outburst last weekend, but there's going to be more passion again, and the crowd will certainly get involved because Townsville are in town. Now, you guys knocked off Townsville on the buzzer with a Kevin Lish buzzer beater earlier in the season. You've got Corey Williams coming back, and long-time memories of Corey Williams in the playoff game which knocked Perth out last season.
Yeah, mate, like I said, Perth is quickly beginning to get some rivals amongst the league. I think every single team basically calls us their rival. So last year, pretty infamous situation with Corey Homicide Williams dancing around the stadium with his shirt off, and there was a bit of payback granted to them this year on Townsville. We've got to make sure that we bounce back from a loss on our home court. We've got to make sure we bounce back this weekend and really try and get the job done against Townsville.
Who's most likely to pick up Homicide? Is it going to be a combination of the Bash brothers, Damien and Brad, or will one player themselves pick them up?
Yeah, I think the beauty of our team is that we've got the great lineup defensively with Damien Martin, Brad Robbins and Kevin Lish. So I think at any time those guys can basically just tag team Corey Homicide Williams and really make his night a miserable night if that's the plan going into the game. So if we can really limit his touches and limit his ability on the game, then that's basically what we're going to try and do.
I suppose one of the disappointing aspects of last week's game, other than the loss to the Gold Coast Blaze, was the fact that Perth's shooting percentage was so low. You guys killed them on the boards. You managed to put more shots up than them, but your shooting percentage was down around 33-34% for the game. That can't be good.
Yeah, it was disappointing, especially for myself. I think I shot 1 for 9 for the game, and obviously as far as the backcourt's concerned, we really can't have too many of those nights, especially with the table being so close as it is now. I guess one of the good things, the positives we could take out of the game is that we did win quite a few of the categories statistically. I think turnovers, they had quite a few more turnovers than us. We had more steals, and like you said, we out-rebounded them. So I think that's going to hold us in good stead for when it comes time for playoff basketball. Obviously, it's negative that we didn't shoot great from the three-point line, and even inside, obviously that's something that can be fixed overnight. So up until this point, we've been quite good shooting-wise, and look for that to obviously increase again against Townsville.
I suppose if you're ever going to have a form slump during the season, it's better to have it now, mid-season, rather than at the pointy end. Yeah. Stephen Way, thanks for joining us again on Radio West. May the jungle roar on Saturday night when the Townsville Crocodiles come to town.
Thank you. It's going to be a good battle.